Hi, my name is Maria del Mar. I'm a research analyst, and in this video, I will guide you through the different data sources that can help us to build the data inputs of the IGC CSM model. The first crucial step for preparing the data inputs of a model is defining spatial units within a city, which are areas where people live and work. Data availability often influences the size and type of these units. Once spatial units are set, you will need to collect specific variables. Let's break down the data requirements for the different versions of the model. For the initial model with housing prices, you will need to calculate the total area of each spatial unit. The total area is typically calculated using geographic information and needs to exclude any protected or restricted zones that are not suitable for the construction of commercial or residential buildings. For each of the spatial units in the model, you will also need to calculate the number of residents and the number of workers. The number of residents is often available through census data that measures where people live, and the number of workers is often obtained through economic census data that measures where people actually work. One alternative for obtaining the number of workers and residents is using cell phone data that looks at the locations of network users during certain times of the day and can count the number of people present in the locations of the city during the working and non-working hours. You will also need to obtain data on the average floor space prices in each of the spatial units. This information can be sourced from real estate listings, property records, or through web scraping. You will also need to obtain data on the travel times across the different locations in the city. This comes in the form of a matrix that is constructed using data on the network of roads and performing the network analysis toolkits that are available in the GIS softwares. The data requirements for the model without housing prices are very similar. In this case, you will need data on the total area, the number of residents, the number of workers, and the travel time matrix. However, instead of the floor space prices, you will use data on the built floor space surface. This is obtained from the Global Human Settlement Layer database, which identifies areas covered by buildings and other structures from commercial and residential uses. As the model becomes more refined by, for example, incorporating different groups of workers, additional data requirements emerge, such as separate travel time matrices for each worker group. Models with different economic sectors like agriculture, manufacturing, and services also require data on the number of workers and residents disaggregated by sector.